For July the 25th, 2025, we talk about Kaizen, a factory story, Look Outside, Descenders Next, and much more. Welcome to Level 551. My name is Kaye Ross.
I'm Dennis Furia.
I'm Moxie.
I'm Ben Merkel.
And you're listening to The Level. It's a podcast for people who love video games. Welcome back, everybody. I'm shaking out some cobwebs. I had a little nap. I had a little 20-minute nap before this.
Ooh.
Yeah, luxurious.
Is that like the power nap range for you, or is that the groggy I want to die range for you?
Anything longer. So I can never achieve power nap. It's either I lay there completely awake for 20 minutes doing nothing but getting pissed. This one I actually did fall asleep, which is good. If it goes any longer, it becomes the, what year is it? Kind of it becomes like the Odin sleep.
Sleep inertia.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm doing good right now, but I am still trying to shake out some of the some of the cobwebs. So if I trip over my words, that's why.
Welcome to the 832nd level.
Yeah.
Does the caffeine nap work for you?
Not really. No. I've tried that, but yeah, drinking caffeine makes me so sleepy that it pushes me right through what a caffeine nap ought to be. The idea being, okay, I'm going to drink this and then I'm going to sleep while it kicks in, and then you go. Caffeine doesn't have the same effect on me, so oh well.
It's possible you're not drinking enough caffeine.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. What you do is you get a Chemex.
Okay.
And you grind up some coffee. Put it in the Chemex, but then you don't use water. That's for scrubs.
Okay.
Instead, you do the pour over with Red Bull.
Okay.
Ooh.
That sounds like a suicide plan.
Ever since
hearing that made my teeth hurt.
Oh gosh. Who's been up to something?
I did something that got some community input on from listeners and the like. And I'm staring now at a snazzy new controller.
Okay.
So after 2 decades of PC gaming, I've finally gotten off my ass and gotten a dedicated controller for it instead of just using.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of just using a PS4 controller. And so, looked around a bit, asked people what they liked. The consensus was pretty unanimous that the 8BitDo controllers are where it's at. And so that's where I went. I got the wired one just because all I ever do on my PC is sit directly in front of the screen. Mm-hmm. So there's no world in which I need it to be more mobile, and saving that money is nice.
No.
But this is a nice little controller. Been playing with it all week, and I let my youngest choose the color.
Okay.
So it's mint green with bright orange buttons.
You know what? I think I know exactly which one you have. I like 8BitDo. 8BitDo stuff is they make really good hardware.
Is it 8BitDo or 8BitDo? Because I went the Nintendo route with it.
I say 8BitDo, but what you're saying also makes sense. So
it's that 8BitDo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's got these nice little tertiary bumpers on it that I haven't seen on a controller before. Mm-hmm. Not like paddles under it, but just a little extra reach with your index finger, and you got an extra button there. Mm-hmm. That's been doing it for me. But the thing that has thrown me off is this has, I think it's the Xbox layout where the D-pad is inside the left analog stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes left analog stick, D-pad, right analog stick, buttons. Mm-hmm. And that is such a horrendous mindfuck for me.
Yeah.
Again, 20 years of using a PlayStation controller, and the muscle memory gets a little hard to break. But aside from that, I've enjoyed the hell out of it, and it's as we'll get into, it's had me going back to or checking out for the first time some controller-centric games that I had been waiting on when I wasn't sure if my controller would just take a shit and die at any moment while playing.
Yeah.
See, I want people to make like a new version of the N64 controller. Like,
oh my gosh, you're a maniac.
Have three grip points. No, because then if you want the D-pad on the outside, use the middle grip. If you want it on the inside, use the outer grip.
I just like if it's two grips, you can't like. I need to have access to both for like, game like that's 4 extra buttons. That's why that's weapon
I want to play
select.
video games, not juggle.
Yeah,
I feel like the N64 is like demarcates the last time there was like whimsy in controller design.
I think that would be GameCube controller, honestly, just because of the face button design. Yeah.
It definitely GameCube, demarcates before the last time. No, sorry. I hate all Nintendo controllers since the GameCube.
Okay, all right.
That was where I was going with that. I'm just gonna cut to the short.
Yeah, just do all you need to say is Nintendo. Ah.
This isn't funny loathing. This is just ire.
Yeah. Oh man.
I do really want to Switch too, though.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a good system. Moxie, how about you? What you been up to?
Not a whole heck of a lot. Had a friend that was in town this past weekend. She's doing some climate lobbying, which is pretty cool. So just hung out. Someone from Huntsville, so that was kind of cool. A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was she lobbying for or against?
She was lobbying that we should not have a climate.
Yeah.
Just no climate at all. It's I think they call it third way.
Oh my god. No. Complete de-terraforming within our lifetime. Oh gosh. Well, that's cool. That's I sometimes think like, oh, Moxie just like completely uprooted their life, left Huntsville. That people down there. I'm glad that you're staying in touch with them.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, are you in DC enough to have like, the sites that I'm going to show you when you're here?
Yes.
Why'd you say that like a Cenobite? Hey, Pinhead, why'd you say that?
Yes, I do. Although they're very dependent on what someone wants to see. Just in terms of like, are you super into the museums, or are you somewhere where like I must see all the landmarks, all the reliquaries?
What if you want one of those famed Republican orgies?
Yes, I actually know where that unfortunately would.
Yeah, sorry, wandered into
fucking beyond parody.
Wandered into not a joke territory.
No, what I am joking is I was out wandering and I happened to wander past like whatever the bar where all of the Republican staffers like hang out at the end of the day.
Okay.
So not truly like crazy Epstein orgies,
right.
But yeah.
It's still bad to be Epstein adjacent.
Yeah, which is apparently fucking. Well, we don't need to talk about that. You did force all of them to eat a popcorn bucket full of hair at gunpoint, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean that's just principle.
Okay, cool.
But I was explaining to my friend though. I think maybe I've said this here before. You know how in like Warhammer 40K they have like entire planets and stuff that are just dedicated to like memorials and like temples and reliquaries and stuff like that. That's kind of what living in DC feels like.
Yeah, it's just because of the civic religion stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Ben, how about you?
Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. I went down to Olympia. Today is the day of recording. I think after we stop recording, I'm celebrating my 2-year anniversary, so I'm excited about that.
Congrats.
Hey.
So we're going to go to the place that we had our second date at, because our first year anniversary we went to where we had our first date at.
Oh, fun.
Wait, so how many of these have you, like, kept track of? Like, at your 50th anniversary, is it going to be, like, the 50th place we had a date?
Yeah, we talked about that. It starts to get more into gray zone, like after like 5 or 6, where it's like, okay, well, if you spend a weekend together, does that count as like 1 date or 2 dates or 3 dates? So who knows?
Well, I feel like also you'd have like, what if, I don't know, your 50th or whatever, I don't know, I made up a number, ends up being your first anniversary, you know, when it wraps around.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, because the dates will eventually become the anniversary dates of your dates.
Yeah.
And then we'll have
Stop going on dates. You're going to date Sept.
We're going to get Exhibit to perform at our wedding, so it'll all be good.
recursive wedding dates. Yeah. Well, that's nice. I don't have much to say other than I had a nap. Dennis, I got your text message about watching Squid Game. By the time you sent that, I had already, or like the last season, I was already like 5 episodes in to the last season.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whenever I get to it, we'll compare notes.
Yeah,
no spoilers.
Is this season 3?
Yeah, the last season. I basically just kind of chugged it. It's good.
So has Squid Game sold out, or just like everything around Squid Game sold out?
What do you mean?
Well, just like when I can go and buy like Squid Game merch at my local Walmart, like someone lost the lost the plot.
That's Netflix stuff. Like when I went, like when I went to I went to a Spirit Halloween for the first time. They had like a whole rack of Squid Game costume kind of things. So yeah, I think that's Netflix or whatever.
Okay, so the show itself is still like actually has a message and stuff.
Yeah. Insofar as something made within capitalism or liberal society can criticize it effectively.
I think one of my favorite things of going to like protests and stuff is seeing what elements of pop culture have like gotten absorbed into the kind of protest parlance motifs, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Is Protest Pikachu still a thing?
Protest Pikachu definitely shows up, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just stalking me. I don't know.
I feel like we've talked about Protest Pikachu very recently.
Yeah.
I keep trying.
So
Are you protesting Protest Pikachu? Okay.
No. I'm not protesting anything. It's established. But Protest Pikachu is still a thing because the last time we talked about it was like 2 months ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like definitely the most recent thing I've seen be absorbed and like showing up a lot is, not surprisingly, Andor.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
No spoilers. I still need to watch that second season as well.
Can't spoil anything around you. Jesus.
It is very good. It is very difficult to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. I don't know. Just watching a lot of good TV recently, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I forget if we're in the transition between segments or if we're still bantering, which I guess is a good sign, right? Like this is
we're
genuinely what it sounds like to hang out.
Yeah, no, we're still in the banter. I can fix that though. We should talk about games, and we should do the regular kind of show to do that. What with the grind, the multiplayer, and the end boss, and why don't we get started with
the grind.
The Grind, where we talk about the games we have been playing over the last period of time or so. Who has something new?
I mean, it sounded like Moxie was jumping on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just going to go full off topic.
Right at the start? You really got to do that to me?
Damn.
Yep. You know how, like, a dog, you can do the thing where you, like, hide the ball in your hand and you're like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? And the dog gets like super excited and it's like has no idea what it is. And every time it's a ball, but the dog's like mind is blown. I feel like that is me every time you start the show. You're like, and so we're going to have to do. And I'm like, what is it? What is the first segment? Are we doing it in order this time?
Yeah, we haven't been doing some form or flavor of this show for fucking 16 years. That's fine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, you never know. Just when you think it's safe, maybe you're going to do the end boss first sometime.
Or better yet, sometimes Kaye still messes it up, and then we get to laugh at her.
Yeah, that's
there's always that chance.
Yeah, I can hear everybody just holding their breath, just waiting to fucking just with your knives out
to descend.
Yeah, fucking jackals.
As side note to a side note, while I was moving, I found a certificate that like nominated for best like regular scheduled programming for Standard or Don't Tree.
And
so that
Nice.
was a throwback. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. There were certificates and stuff. I still have a little runner-up trophy thing.
Yeah. Was that like within UC or that's like a...
No, that was like wait, maybe it was...
No.
Maybe it was one
sorry,
for UC.
The show was within UC, but yes, it was for Ohio, I think.
No, there was a national college radio one that I submitted to that we got a runner-up for. It was like something national college radio, something or other.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Who's been playing a fucking video game? Okay.
No, you guys want to hear about my new guitar? No, we can do video games.
Okay.
I have 2 games that are new to me.
I don't have a new guitar.
Okay. All right. Go, Ben.
Ben.
All right, I got House Flipper. I'm gonna talk about that one.
Okay.
New to me, not a new game. Bought it for $250 on the Steam sale. This is like my relaxation game. As a tinge of irony, though, play it to relax in the evening times. I am surrounded by moving boxes that I still need to unpack. So.
Yeah, it's real.
Next, you're gonna play unpacking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unpacking is a fun little snack of the game. You can beat that in a session. It's so sweet. Yeah.
Are you trying to speedrun Mimi throwing you out?
We'll see.
Yeah. So are you talking about a House Flipper 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Because again, deep discount for the summer sale is only $2.50. So it was like. Yeah, because I had like seen this game in passing, understood it was like relaxation simulator, like it's like power wash simulator, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's relaxing until you get to the ash tree lane level. Then things get weird.
Yeah, they break out the measuring tape.
Then the house flips you.
So like it's funny that you say like, oh, it's relaxing, or because like House Flipper 2 you're talking about, like that's much like softer, like it's real like you're doing a lot of like, your early jobs are like unpack this, like take the stuff out of the boxes and like put it in the right room. House Flipper 1, like your early jobs in that are basically like trying to clean up murder scenes.
Which is not to be confused with Murder Scene Simulator.
Yeah, Crime Scene Cleaner. Yeah, the Mike Ehrmantraut simulator. Yeah, I need to stream that. No.
Not to be confused with Viscera cleanup detail.
Mike Ehrmantraut, the fixer guy on Breaking Bad. Yeah, I need to stream Crime Scene Cleanup Simulator. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. I was gonna say, let me go over the early dynamics in the game. It's so like you basically get progressively more complicated jobs. You start off with very few verbs. You start off with just picking up detritus that is around the house and then cleaning something with a broom. And so there's like dirt stains on the ground and there's just debris that you need to walk around and pick up. Where it goes when you pick it up, who knows? Stop asking questions. But all the skills that you're doing, there's like maybe 6 or 7 different like categories, and within each one of those you can level up the more you do them, Skyrim style, and then you unlock new abilities to either make that quicker or like add a new feature to it. So like a simple example is eventually you're able to paint walls in houses. And so you kind of do it section by section with the roller. And so you have a roller's width section of a wall that you can paint at a time. As you do it more and unlock it, you can do 2 or 3 sections at a time, or you can make your paint last longer before you need to refill it from the bucket, or et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very like simple upgrade system. It's not terribly complicated with what you're doing. It is just here's a checklist of things to do. You do it, you feel good about yourself at the end, and then you start it over again. So not like a deep review or anything of this game. It's just if that's the kind of game you're looking for, this is not a bad iteration of it. It's a pretty like de facto version of it.
I mean, you're describing chores. You're just doing chores.
It's just
like
conquerable tasks presented in an order with very quick feedback about the difference that your efforts are making.
It's the illusion of control over a system that I want. So
if you're ever looking for something else kind of in that genre, Goblin Cleanup. You play as a goblin in an adorable maid outfit who's tasked with resetting the dungeon after each set of adventures go through.
I feel like the maid outfit is a little bit. I
feel like it's a nice touch.
Little bit gratuitous, I think, is the.
But like instead of a trash can, you have a mimic, and instead of a mop, you have like a slime on the end of a stick. And then as you go farther, it's like, oh, I need to be careful of how I reset all these traps so that they don't go off on me.
So this is a demo right now. Yeah.
Whole new meaning to being worried about someone going off on you.
Yeah.
I think
this is very cute.
Maybe a differentiator between like House Flipper and that type, or at least some of the other simulator games I played, is this one is like feels like it's pretty low to no stress. I think there's one exception where they do have cockroaches that you can vacuum up as a mechanic, which is kind of a strange choice. And they even like have an option where you can turn that off if you have like a fear of cockroaches. But other than that, this is more of like a dopamine hitter and not like but not like in a weird gamey way. It's just like it's a relaxation simulator.
Like eventually you end up getting like, just here is a house. You don't really have a job to do in it. It is just go in and fix it up and kind of make your own kind of design choices on it, and then it puts a value on it. So like there's a little bit of like Dollhouse kind of Sims house design kind of thing going on with it. Like you can decide to make walls bigger, or make a room smaller, add extra stuff, furnish it.
And similarly, like kind of the meta progression is like you get money for all these tasks that you do, and you have this like kind of janky home that you start off in. But that's something that you can change, where it's like you can buy different properties, you can buy different like bigger houses, and you can modify the house that you're living in as like, to kind of scratch that sort of itch. Anyway, it's, I don't want to talk too long about it. It's a simple game. It's been out forever. So if you're looking for that sort of thing, it's a good iteration of it. But there's one other game I want to talk about, but I haven't played very much of it. It is a game called Skin Deep.
We did a Watch Out for Fireballs about this.
Okay. Oh, well then, shoot. You made more about it than
you
I
did a retro podcast on a game that
Moxie, it hasn't been a retro podcast for so many years.
So you've played this game to completion then?
Yeah.
Or okay. Well, then you are going to be way more knowledgeable about this game than I am. I have like dipped my toe in the tutorial. I think I've mentioned this before. Is I have a group of friends from college that we do like a monthly like book club, but with video games sort of thing. And so this was the game that we chose for this month. So I have like just gotten through the tutorial and have just started like the first mission, where the non-tutorial mission. So I kind of see the framework of the game, but it seems like it goes like a lot bigger and a lot more like simulation style, I guess, with the places that you're going to. I guess for reference, this is like kind of has a skin similar to like Hypnospace Outlaw a bit, where it's like, I don't know, just like weird 90s aesthetic, very absurdist, maybe less connected to the internet.
This is the same people who did like Gravity Bone and 30 Flights of Loving.
Oh, I didn't realize that at all.
That's where it gets that kind of funky kind of aesthetic from.
Yeah.
Also, is this the one where you always start barefoot? Just
you're always barefoot
as
for some
like
reason.
a random Die Hard call out.
Yeah.
We're children of men. But yeah, so the premise, the game loop of this is that you go to some ship and you're trying to, I guess, extract the entire ship, and you usually have to do some stealth elements to get around people or somehow like deal with them or eliminate them. This is true of the tutorial. I don't know if it's true of everybody, but everybody has heads that are in jars, like Futurama style, where it's like a life insurance policy, so that if they die, their heads will just float away to like be reanimated again later. So you need to grab their heads and like flush it down a toilet or throw it in the trash to like kill the enemy. There's talking cats in the game. It's a weird game. I enjoy it so far, but I have just dipped my toes into it. So, Kaye, I would like to know more about what you think of the game since you've actually played it.
Yeah, it's real neat. So like it's an immersive sim, kind of like it's like a smaller scale, like Dishonored or Deus Ex kind of deal, where each stage, each level is like a 3 or 4 room. They get bigger, but like spaceship where you can get around through like vents, and you can even like go outside the ship and do different kinds of like entries and exits. Like when we say like it's simulated, like it gets down to like, so when you're carrying those heads, like they can yell and stuff, and if you're too close to an enemy while you're holding one of them, like the enemy will hear the yelling. Like if you exit the ship and then go in through the trash, you will be like through the trash chutes, you'll be stinky. So like enemies will be able to like hear you, or will be able to smell you. Yeah. Or you stink so much they can hear it. It's wild.
And I've
only smelled 3 smells in my life like that. All too painful to talk about.
Yeah.
I've seen there's like a coughing meter, or so if you're going through something that's like, I don't know, like smoky or like a weird vent or dusty or something like that, you can cough, which will alert people.
Yeah, like being in the vents will because they're dusty, you can only be in there for a little while, which is like meant to stop you from like camping out for a long time. So like if you're in there for too long, you'll sneeze. The guards will hear it, and then they'll say, "Well, we got to purge the vents because obviously she's in there. They're there in the ship looking for you."
They don't say it's just a rat?
No. So they're like a limited amount of time to get out of the vents, or they're going to seal them and then kill you inside of it.
That's not realistic. My experience with guards is that you could throw a grenade in the corner, and if they don't see you, they'll decide it's a rat.
And if they see you, they shout, "It's the bat!" Yeah. Yeah. So, and there's not like, there are weapons like Ben, eventually you're going to get to like combat kind of scenarios, but like, you're unarmed. So like you only have a few different ways of like dealing with enemies. So like for a lot of it, it's like you have to like hope you find like a bar of soap that they'll slip on, or a banana, or like boxes of pepper, like black pepper you can throw that make them sneeze to stun them, so you can like grab onto them and like run them into stuff to kill them. Yeah,
that's a fun detail, as well as you rodeo ride people to their deaths.
Yep. Yeah, it's super neat. I have some problems with it. Like we had some problems with it on the show, just related to a lot of the levels kind of end up having way too similar of a structure, where it's like you show up and then you're like, okay, I need to figure out how to unlock the vents. I need to figure out how to unlock the, et cetera.
Gotcha.
But like it stays clever pretty much the whole way through, so.
All right. Well, sweet. I'm looking forward to dive even more into it. I have one more thing to briefly touch on, if there are no more questions on Skin Deep.
No.
I did play a bit more of Skald. I got past the Yellow King segment. I couldn't find the end segment, so I was like, I'm done with the game, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
it's just further north. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried looking that way, but
Oh.
I don't know. I think I think I kind of hit my stopping point on that.
Yeah.
Enjoy it a lot. Glad I saw that scene at least. Yeah.
Neat.
That's all I got.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry you had to tap out. But yeah.
That's all good.
Good slate. A lot of Kaye approved titles on that one. Yeah.
It's like you guys are friends or something.
I know, right? I only have like one with maybe previews of stuff in the future. I've got a game that came out recently that I've been streaming called Look Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is maybe the weirdest thing I've seen you stream so far, which is saying something.
Yeah. So this is a horror game. It is a pixel art kind of top-down RPG. Turn-based kind of deal where you play as a character, but as a character named Sam, who you are trapped inside your apartment building in a world where something has appeared in the sky that is compelling people to look outside, and when they do, they're mutated into horrible monsters. And
oh damn.
And you need to basically survive inside of this apartment building for 15 days, until it is said that the whatever is there will go away. But there's a bunch of stuff that is getting in the way, namely the monsterified neighbors that you have that get in your way when you're going out to look for supplies and stuff. This is like, if I could like compare it to things, it feels a little bit like Earthbound crossed with like a Lisa the Painful RPG. Like there's some stuff in here that kind of reminds me of Fear and Hunger without some of the ickiness that scared me off of Fear and Hunger. Yeah, so like this is really good. I had to bump it down to easy because I ended up so it has like this weird limitation where on normal difficulty, like, yeah, the combat's more difficult, but you can't save wherever you want to, which is fine.
Oh no.
Which is fine if I'm playing it just by myself. It'll it'll just end up being I'll just redo the content. It's fine. When I'm streaming it though, and I have to redo a bunch of stuff, I get real cranky. But like it ties into this like press your luck system where the longer you are out of your apartment and going into dangerous places, like a danger meter fills up, and the more like basically the more full it is, the more you've kind of extended yourself, the more experience you get when you go back home. Which is really like neat. Like the best way to level up is basically to get as close to death as you can before you return.
Incentives to play non-optimally.
Pretty much, yeah. Or to stretch your time away, I guess. So like that's real cool. So I ended up needing to bump it down to easy. I also, something that ended up working against me was there are party members that you can recruit in this that for all the world are like boss encounters that if you either run away from them or beat them, you never get to see them again. So like when I went and replayed from the beginning on easy to get back to where I was for the second day of streaming, I ended up recruiting two party members, which ended up making things a little bit more easy. The combat is pretty much just kind of standard turn-based kind of fare. Different characters have different special abilities, and different weapons that you have special attacks that will do more damage or inflict special conditions, but there's a higher risk of breaking them, and you've got to find other weapons to kind of replace them. Something that oh gosh, that really makes it stick out though. Like the mechanics are all, pretty cool, and you end up exploring some kind of neat spaces. This is some of the best and grossest pixel art I've ever seen in a game. Are you guys looking at this?
How do you do that?
I was curious how this affected the person who made this, like staring at those images for years on end.
Well, so like this is also like this is not a years on end thing. This is like this was put out as part of like a game jam like in late 2024. And it got really popular like with streamers and with just kind of like just general online folks, and they're like, well, I can make money if I make this into a full game. So like they developed this over the course of like 3 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But like just the different apartments and like the different curses that they ended up getting by looking outside or whatever are all so creative and so gross. To give you an example of an early one, your neighbors who live across the hall from you, they like nobody inside looked out. However, the baby of the family, the little sister, was her crib was next to the window, so she looked out and she started growing teeth. And then she bit her mom, and then she started biting everybody else who tried to take care of you. And all of the other family members, they just kind of started growing extra teeth like a rash in different ways until they became tooth monsters. And you get to see like the different, kind of states of decay that they are in as they have all like mutated.
I'm seeing one that looks like Mr. Clean, but with hands coming out of its mouth and then bodies behind it.
Yeah. You got some of that. Like your real basic enemies like are growing eyes because they looked outside, and by eyes I mean like just all over their bodies and torso until they
granite size.
Yeah, real kos, or as some say kosum. So just excellent body horror in this, like. And I am super excited to see more of it just because it is just like real good fucked up horror ideas. I ran into a guy, like, again, all of this is still very early, but like one of the people who lives in the apartment is an artist. And like, he didn't look outside, but he basically ended up...
Oh God, that's horrifying.
I know, right?
Ew, did he want you to look at his stuff?
Who would do that? Well, no, he doesn't want you to look at his stuff. He didn't look outside, but he painted something that is basically like he had a dream about what it would eventually look like outside. He painted it. And then he started being compelled as he was looking at to paint portraits of himself. These portraits are all fucked up. The versions of himself started like crawling out of it. And they are all trying to kill him to become to become him, to take his place. Ooh. And so you're like going around his apartment trying to find all of his like doppelgangers, and you're not real sure if the guy who sent you out to kill all the others is the original or not.
Oh jeez. Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
So all of the like stream things I see and stuff like that really emphasize this being a lot of like moral choice type of things, who do you trust, that sort of stuff. Almost a This War of Mine almost. Is there any of that actually, or?
I mean, there's like a little bit of it because of the aforementioned, hey, I thought these were monsters who would like hurt me, and I did indeed have to fight them. But like there are special conditions you can satisfy to recruit them to be your friend. Like there's a system where obviously you'll meet somebody and you think this could either be a boss or this could be a potential party member. What do I have to do to win them over or whatever? But like when you're just hanging around the apartment trying to, either satisfy your meters or, pass time. Like you can play video games to unlock special skills and stuff like that. People will knock on your door and you look out the peephole and they'll say like, oh, I'm here to sell you old sporting equipment that you could use as weapons or whatever. You kind of have to decide if you trust them or not. And then like sometimes, to like open the door, and sometimes they're recruitable, sometimes they'll attack, and sometimes it'll be both. Like early on, they'll be perfectly sane. And then later on, if they come back, they'll attack you. So like maybe that's that's a little bit of what's there. Just like, okay, do I want to take the risk on this? Kind of deal. But like, nothing as serious as this war of mine, and nothing that feels like a moral choice. It's more like a paranoia and survival choice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like, I'm only about 4 hours in. Like, How Long to Beat says it's like a 16-hour game. Like, I'm like 3-4 days into the story, and like different stuff unlocks on different days. The first floor is a labyrinth that loops back around on itself basically forever. So I'm curious to find what's down there, and basically just come across some real good fucked up body horror ideas.
Yeah, a lot can go south in the remaining 2/3.
Yes, possibly. And you know, mechanically, there could be stuff that's unfair, etc. I feel a little bit less wary of that now that I can save whenever I want to. I'm like doing very obviously stupid stuff just because I can save and see how it works out. Like, oh God, I'm just going to end up spoiling stuff. But like, there's a telescope you can look through, and what you think is going to happen doesn't happen.
Now, is there any scenario like in 15 days, other than water, you could just not eat and like go to the restroom in the corner or whatever? Like, is there a reason why you can't just wait it out?
I'm not sure if you die of starvation. Also, like, if you just waited it out, it wouldn't be a game.
Okay. But like, there's no like actual like way it forces that.
Right. I don't know if there's like an ending that you get just by waiting, or if like the meters eventually compel you outside, or if somebody breaks in or whatever.
Okay. Was that Far Cry 4 where you get captured by the bad guy at the beginning? He's like, wait here.
Yeah, he just wants
you
to
actually wait for him.
Yeah, just wants you to hear him out. Yeah. Yeah. So look outside. It's real neat.
Cool.
Yeah. The other thing I've been kind of like gumming at, maybe I want to wait until Jala is here to talk about it. I've been poking at the new game from the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series, like those creators, the 100 line Last Defense Academy.
Is this in a standalone universe or somehow connected to the others?
I'm not sure how connected. Like, one character really makes a lot of references to the idea that they might be in a killing game. So I think that they're kind of aware of what kind of game people expect them to make. This is not like, there's still visual novel components to this, but like the main kind of mechanic to it is that this is a tactical RPG, like grid-based, turn-based battle kind of deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like those.
But I've not played enough of it to have an opinion. So we'll see. Yeah.
Very cool.
So preview of what might be coming. And if I don't like it, you'll probably never hear it again.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Let's see. Dennis, I want to hear what you've been playing with that new controller.
Yeah, well, let's start there. I'm playing a game that's on Game Pass in early release, or they call it game preview or whatever, called The Descenders, which a descender is the dorkiest possible thing you could call a snowboarder.
Oh, no.
Which ultimately is what this game is. It's like a downhill snowboarding game.
See, I thought this game was called Why Aren't You Playing Tony Hawk?
Because my thumbs hurt. We covered this. Although I need to go back to with this silky new D-pad and see if that makes a difference. But yeah, kind of tried it on a lark. It is SSX style, maybe a little more muted and realistic, although still well beyond the realm of realism. So maybe think of this as like it is to SSX what Skate is to Tony Hawk.
Wait a minute. Descenders. I'm looking this up. I see a BMX game.
The first one, sorry, I should have specified. The Descenders Next.
The Descenders Next. Okay.
Yes.
Descenders : Next.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only looked into it very briefly. It seems like the first game was a mobile game.
Oh, weird.
And maybe in a different style. So, it might just be them comboing the IP or what, I don't know. But yeah, so downhill snowboarding. But it also has like downhill, I don't know what you call like the skateboards that are designed for off-road. But like, downhill on that. What's that?
Some of them look like longboards, but
yeah, it's got that vibe, but it's like the
skateboards.
Big tires on it and everything. And you strap your feet into it. So it functionally, it performs just like a snowboard. It's just grass and dirt instead of snow. Which I guess that kind of shows where it is in early access here, that, while they do have 2 different kinds of boards you can ride down, and certainly like the opening sequence and the pitch for the game is that there's going to be like all kinds of things. Anything that you downhill on is going to be in this game.
I'm holding out for like old school sled,
going Ethan Frome style.
Yep.
Oh, it'd be amazing. But yeah, it is a nice, relaxing experience to go down and kind of ski these slopes. As I said, not as crazy intense as an SSX. Really, most of the challenge comes not necessarily from like landing tricks, but from managing your speed going down the mountainside. Which is, it feels realistic to me. Like my first concern is not to fly into that copse of trees. And then I'll worry about the sick 1080,
Yeah.
And so you kind of learn how to slalom and manage your speed, because you still want to have lots of velocity for the ramps. You just need to make sure that when you land, you don't fly off the side of a cliff in a bad way. So yeah, it's a cool idea. The other cool thing that they do is it's not roguelike, but there is funny you mentioned it earlier, Kaye, a bit of a push your luck system to exploring. So you start at like an established park for snowboarding, and there's stuff you can do in that park, like different slopes you can ride.
I know this one. You get halfway down the hill and the abominable snowman charges in from the left side.
Yeah. It's basically a timer, but you don't know that as a kid, so you just think it happens at random. Yeah.
Oh, I've never had my adrenaline spike so hard as in Ski Free. I was just like the right age to truly be freaked out by it.
And how is... Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I was going to tangent too bad.
At Midwest Gaming Classic, there was they had like a bunch of like homebrew arcade cabinets. One of them was one button ski free, and you were going down the going down the hill, and the one button was just to change your direction. So like, and there's more
like diagonally left and diagonally right.
Yeah. In order to like slow yourself down and like get through the pins.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a really neat way to kind of change up that game. That anybody above a certain age played a lot of as a kid. Yeah,
I'm really surprised that no one has made like an indie update. Where we're gonna make this into like probably a roguelike or something.
Just in terms of like, we need ski free likes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. But no, what the Descenders does, I feel like I'm wearing a pocket protector when I say that. But what the Descenders does is, so once you're, happy with that park, you set out to explore the mountain, and you like choose a slope, and go down that. And there's different objectives for each slope. But you are limited to the ones that are like kind of in a certain radius of you. And then once you've conquered that slope, you can go, to any slope within a radius of that one. And you kind of chain your way through all these different courses until you discover and arrive at another park.
Oh.
And the more slopes you hit in between parks, the higher your multiplier for your like cumulative score of the excursion is. And so the push your luck is like, okay, I'm close enough that I could get to the park in 2 slopes and bank my score, or I could try to kind of go this more roundabout way and pick up 3 extra slopes. But, they have life counter, I guess you would call it, but that every time you bail, you lose a point. And then if you bottom out, you have to be airlifted back to the park that you started at. And each slope has an objective where if you complete that objective, you'll get a bonus point to your health. And so that kind of incentivizes risky behavior versus just straight up, snowboarding down with no tricks. But yeah, it's really kind of an interesting, like I said, it's not roguelike, but it is, kind of this idea of like how much gas do I have left in the tank? If they ever do ATVs, that'll be literally true. But a fun way to explore the map. So yeah, it seems to be intended less as a super intense high score chasing game and more as this kind of like, wander around and maybe pull off a sick trick or two, but mostly you're just enjoying riding down the slopes. It does seem, I can't quite tell for sure, but it does seem that the slopes are procedurally generated.
Okay.
Ooh.
And either I just I took a completely different route than I thought I did the first time, or I had like the actual terrain of a location change over the course of the playthrough. And I'm not so sure what I think about that. Like the idea of, if the game is really about the vibe of just, boarding down the slopes, cool. Having it kind of generated ongoing and always fresh is kind of a cool idea. But there's also a lot too, like feeling like I want to master a run, master a section of mountain. And if that's taken away from me in a way that I can't control, I kind of feel like I'm getting pulled away from something before I'm done with it.
Kaizen Trackmania.
What's that?
I said Kaizen Trackmania.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's just the slope of leaves,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And you start kind of recognizing the set pieces. Like there's a radio tower you can jump through the girders of, and there's certain configurations of logs and ramps, etc., that you start to recognize. But I think the thing that ameliorates the procedural generation is that each of those parks that I mentioned is bespoke and won't change. So it's an interesting idea. It's definitely early access. I had it where certain tricks didn't combo into grinds.
Okay.
Like it would count them as separate when most tricks would like show up as together.
Oh.
And it's like that just feels like an oversight of an early development game.
Yeah.
There's a multiplayer component where you're always on the slopes with people live. You're not competing with each other, but you're kind of there together. And one person was just a spray of polygons that would periodically like fly over and block your vision, like a human sail. Getting in your way. So they've got some rough edges to work out, but for someone who does not quite have the calluses or the aptitude for Tony Hawk, this was a fun little diversion.
The decades of Tony Hawk just being a kind of game that you play occasionally. Yeah.
Does this with the multiplayer, can you interact? Can you like run into people, or can they scrape off the good snow? Or
mercifully not, because that would be infuriating. It is a little disorienting if you're like snowboarding kind of on top of someone else. It gets a little hard to discern. But generally things are wide open enough and you're moving fast enough that you're never like that on top of someone, except maybe at the very start. It'll be interesting to see, what they add. And there's a big disclaimer screen at the start of, hey, we're still working on this. Expect to see bugs. Here's where you give us feedback. Like it feels very much like they are truly working on it versus, releasing a beta is the way that all games do it now. So one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
That's the Descenders.
Have you played or heard of the Lonely Mountains series of games? There are two of them.
No. The only other snowboarding game I'm familiar with is Steep.
Okay.
Outside of SSX.
Check out Lonely Mountains Downhill is the one that I played. Kind of a similar, like meant to be kind of this weird straddle between like relaxing and exacting. But it's with like a fixed, like a fixed hill, like a course. So like, you learn it eventually. If that
is it like an entire mountainside that's modeled?
It's a few of them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
That's actually a fun fact from the SSX reboot a la 2012 is they actually took like satellite scan data of the mountainsides of all the major mountains that you're going down. And it was an interview or something, but that was like, we didn't have to modify too much. Like it feels like it's, crazy, extreme sports. Oh, that, that must be there just because it's a crazy ramp. But it's like, no, that was actually on the hillside and we put flags on it and dressed it up a bit. But like, this crazy shit is actually out there. Earth is rad.
Indeed. No, Lonely Mountains is not like based on actual mountains. They're like not modifying actual places. It's a fantastical kind of thing, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
My jam for snowboarding games was, did any of you play Snowboard Kids or whatever?
Oh, that was an N64 game.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was basically what if snowboarding was Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
I had a snowmobile racing game for PS1.
Okay.
Oh.
And it was attempting to be like, all realistic and whatever. It had like all the sponsor names and everything. It felt like one of those games that was made by snowmobile enthusiasts.
Okay.
It just happened to bleed over into video games.
I feel
I digress.
I feel like the greatest snowmobile game ever made was Wipeout.
Wipe out the futuristic F-Zero like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are basically snowmobiles.
Okay. Yeah.
Without snow or treads or
Yeah.
I can't follow you there.
Yeah.
Handlebars?
I get it.
I don't know if they have
Yeah,
handlebars in
they're
there.
all slippy slidey.
Okay, from that kind of handling, yes, I could see it.
Yeah, or maybe I'm thinking bobsleds. I don't know.
Bobsleds, you don't have any control of whatsoever.
Oh, don't you?
Yeah, not really.
I don't know.
Some definition of terms here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is coming from someone that maintains that humanity leaving the equatorial regions was a major mistake. So I'm not a big fan of snow-based sports.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
What else have you been playing?
Okay, this next one is big, and I'm excited to talk with Ben about this because I saw it was on his wish list. I've been playing Kaizen.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's called A Factory Story. This is the new game from the people who did Opus Magnum.
The Zachtronics team kind of like parts of it reformulated and did this, yeah.
Yeah, so a big in the headline is like from the original Zachtronics team, and it felt that's a statement that feels loaded with drama that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we can get into that or not, but the game is amazing. So to know what this is, you have to know what Opus Magnum is, which is like half programming, half assembly line.
I was going to say, if you played any Zachtronics game, you probably got a good leg up starting this game.
Okay, there you go.
Any Zachtronic game of like the optimization variety, this is not akin to like the TIS 100, like the computer simulation ones. Like this is like factory production optimization of like Space Chem or like Infinifactory. Yeah.
But yeah, like simple machines-esque, where one thing pushes and another rotates, and you can program them to act in order as you place them on a grid to accomplish your objective. Whereas in Opus Magnum, you were moving stuff around a hexagonal grid. In this, you are moving it just on a grid of squares. And at first blush, that makes the problem solving a lot simpler. It's much more easy to envision how stuff is going to move around the board when you're on a grid instead of a hex setup. However, you can also rotate items in 3D space. So you can flip it horizontally or flip it vertically. And, that changes the calculus of how things are assembled because it also matters which way it's facing when you kind of clip it to the other pieces.
So you end up getting some Steven sausage roll, like this only works when you rotate it on particular axes.
Exactly. And there's a little bit to it as well. So the story is that it's 1986 and you have graduated from business school and gotten a job with a Japanese manufacturer over in Tokyo. You think to be on their international sales team, but you show up and they're like, yeah, go here and take you to this podunk warehouse where they're manufacturing toys. And you kind of, it's like, well, I guess they want me to learn the business from the ground up or something. That's not what I expected, but kind of cool. And you get moved around to different cities, and the whole thing just feels like a love letter to 1980s Japan. And particularly, and this is weird to say, but like particularly the corporate culture of 1980s Japan.
Kaizen, it's named after this like Japanese business and like manufacturing principle that was like it kind of popularized here in the States by Honda, but just the idea of constantly refining processes in order to make things better, which involves like a lot of like feedback at every stage of the at every part of the line. So like a huge amount of trust in the workers to be like, hey, if at any point something is going wrong, you have the power to stop the line. We're going to trust you not to fuck around with this.
Yes. It's big in lean manufacturing and stuff, which is notable for being a really great idea until COVID happened.
Yep. But yeah, like, you know, so that a lot of the people, it's more story heavy than I remember Opus Magnum being. So a lot of the people that you interact with will kind of wax poetic about their approach to their work, or, you know, the reasons they do things a certain way. And it kind of reads like a propaganda manual for Kaizen. However, it's also like all very, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it sounds super, you know, late stage capitalism, kind of Taylorism propaganda.
Yeah, and I kept on like wanting to see it from that angle, but it's also very like cozy and friendly, and like, you know, the characters that you're interacting with, you kind of grow to care about, and you kind of form a team together, and so it's this weird blend of you know, cozy relationship sim a little bit, but not also like the stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Not gonna lie, it would be amazing if like the final quarter or something, it just does a turn, like you get acquired by a venture capitalist company and
oh man! Oh, this is the 1980s. Is that venture capitalist territory yet?
You might end up with some who's the monster who ran GE, like the shareholder value guy. Fuck, I forget his name.
The Axeman. Jack
something. Welch. She might like there might be a Jack Welch stand-in who comes in and lays people off for the shareholders, but.
Yeah, well, like, you know, they do all these scenes, and it's this great. You know, pixel art venues that you're watching them eat in a restaurant or drink at a bar, and they're kind of chatting with each other outside of the factory floor. And there's all these little things going on. Like your immediate boss is kind of like really smart guy, but not as high up in the company as he could be. It sounds like because he's maybe a little stubborn or you know, refuses to kiss the boss's ass, like the big boss's ass. But it's all very, you know, gently implied, and no one's talking shit about the boss or anything like that. You can just kind of listen to these pleasant conversations and infer kind of what's going on. So I would say it's very Japanese, but you know, it is very my impression of what Japanese culture is like.
It's the like the way that games like Shenmue or Persona 4 have kind of imparted this nostalgia for like a particular kind of town we didn't grow up in, but when you see it, you're like, oh, that feels very homey, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
So I'm making it sound like it's a relationship sim, right? Like there's all that stuff going on, and then there are these really interesting like assembly line build the thing puzzles in between, and like in Opus Magnum, you know, as long as you make what it asks you to make, you win. Right? There's no wrong way to do it, but it will show you a chart showing you in relation to everyone else who played. How much space you used, how much money you used, and how many turns it takes to assemble the thing. And goddamn, that is the perfect nerd trap for me.
Yeah, it'll put up that like 5-axis histogram that shows you with a little star that shows you exactly where you came up short.
Yep. And it's like, oh man, I was the most cost effective of anyone, but I see I'm a couple steps above optimal for space used. And the reality is it's not possible to do all three of those things at once.
Yeah.
I don't think. Usually you have to optimize, it's the triangle. You can have it fast, you can have it good, or you can have it cheap. And it's kind of grading you on those three things. So while a lot of the puzzles, the answer or unanswer is usually fairly apparent, doing a solution that optimizes for one of those vectors is a lot more difficult. To where, you'll spend all this time designing something that fits in a very small space and it works so perfectly, but there's the one piece that you forgot. And now you got to figure out how to work that in and change everything. And then it's 2 a.m., 6 hours later, and you don't know where your night went. So
you're on the third round of ripping everything out.
Yep. Yeah. It is a lot of fun. So
do you have an idea of how long this game is, or do they like chapter it out, or?
No, there are chapters. So I'm midway through the third chapter. And basically, like I said, you kind of show up as the new guy. You get attached to this, not renegade boss, but kind of known in the company for kind of having his little niches and quirks. And then you start getting passed around to different office locations with him, and another coworker. And so each one, like the first one is making toys. The second one is making plastic food, like that you would put in a display window. And the third one that I'm in right now is making like camcorders and calculators and stuff.
Yeah.
So electronics. And I only imagine it's going to get more complicated from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Kaizen. I'm really excited to play more of it. We'll see, how long it is, but even just what I've played is well worth the price of entry.
Yeah. This this looked cool enough that I picked it up. I've not had a chance to sit down because it is one of these games you need to you need to focus.
Very, very hard to kind of do with half your attention.
Yeah.
And it's a Zachtronics game. And I think all previous Zachtronics games have showed up on Game Pass. So you could probably wait for it, but I had enough fun with Opus Magnum that I wanted to check this out the gate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Looks rad.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. I think that you had Descenders next and Kaizen a Factory Story?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Moxie, round us out.
Yeah, I've got pretty much nothing. I tried to play a game with Dennis, but then the internet decided that it wanted to not work. So
oh yeah, the Ascent.
Yeah,
which for a game that bills itself as multiplayer, you think they would make it so that it doesn't crash when you try to connect to anyone.
Seems like priority. Yeah.
Yeah. And I assumed it was a quick Google of I must have something wrong on my machine. It's no, this is a widespread problem that lots of people have and that doesn't have any obvious solution. So that's not great.
You can play the Ascent or you can play Descenders, but you can't play both.
Yeah. It sends both. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. When the opposites meet, it deletes both of them and then installs a copy of the movie Annihilation.
So we decide we're gonna give Dark Tide another try. So
cool. There was an expansion with that recently, right? Or
they added Judge Dredd.
Oh.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, Dark Tide.
Not literally, but they added a judge who's in a part of a totalitarian society that kills everyone that breaks the law and has a helmet that covers the top half of his face.
Okay.
It could be any
and
judge.
Did Judge Dredd have a dog?
I'm not sure about the dog thing.
I've heard about this. Yeah, they have a robot dog.
Yeah, I just figured dogs were the only way to make the law enforcement
good
PR.
So nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
Multiplayer.
Now it is time for the multiplayer, where we ask you a question and you answer it. Dennis, what is the question that you asked the nice people?
Yeah, I was feeling vindictive this week.
Okay.
I don't know why, but we're going to assign people a game to play as punishment. Now, the easy answer would be get AI slop or like an incomplete game or broken game. But let's pick from games that actually work. But you can set stipulations on how you play it to make it as miserable as possible. What game do you pick? What stipulations do you put on it?
Okay. And I will go get us started here with Threnza, who says, play the NES version of Smash TV in the 1-player, 2-controller mode, but they have to use their feet instead of their hands. Yeah,
It's pretty strong out the gate there.
yeah. So like I don't know. So like the 2-controller mode, because Smash TV is a twin stick shooter, like the 2-controller is like one D-pad moves, the other shoots. Doing that with your big toe on either of the does not sound like it would be that hard to me. I'm not saying like I don't know, like lock me in a room and make me do this, but yeah.
No, okay. I was getting it set up over here.
Getting real mixed messages for me. Don't do this.
I would hate it if I had to play it this way.
I can write my name with my foot. So, like, I don't know. It's fun. Try it.
That's a great stupid human trick.
Yeah, it's fun. Give it a shot. Let's see, Ben. What does Mirko Skirk say?
Yeah, thanks for assigning me this one. Mirko says they have to play and finish The Witness, including watching and listening to all the audio-video content. They are not allowed the merciful release.
Yeah, watching that whole lecture would be pretty rough, I think.
So this one hurts because I've on multiple occasions gone back to listen to that entire lecture.
Oh, okay. Oh, listen. Okay, so listen to it as opposed to you need to watch every frame of it to see when you need to trace out the deal. Like that is
that's a fair point.
Yeah,
that is video content, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, that would be a little bit hard, but.
Yeah, I didn't intentionally mean to make you read that, so I apologize. I know you like The Witness a lot. I don't think The Witness technically qualifies as punishment. Moxie, what's Warren say?
Warren says, Halo Combat Evolved on Legendary, but you can only use enemy weapons. It's possible, but extremely difficult and not fun for a majority of the playthrough. But it is satisfying to finish a stage that way.
Okay, so just giving them a fun but difficult task.
Figuring out how to get that first melee kill to get you in the action is going to be really tough.
Can't you just melee kill a grunt and get the needler?
I mean, on Legendary?
I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't you just melee kill a Marine because they only carry Marine weapons?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that gets tricky. Dennis, what does RJ say?
RJ says, whatever quest titled Sierra game, and the only way to get hints is to read through old gaming magazines.
See, one of my distinct memories, and maybe why I've never gotten into adventure games, is I had one of those games that I got like the re-release of the game from like Sam's Club or something. Mm-hmm. And most notably, it did not come with the thing on the back that you need to like beat the game that they used before they figured out what DRM was.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to point out that RJ just said the 90s. So
yeah, just that's not dissimilar to my answer on this. Let's see. Eggy Wets says, I'd have them platinum a skill or timing heavy game, i.e. Sekiro, using only the remote play feature on the PlayStation using the touchscreen of a 6-inch iPhone screen. Enjoy the input delay, sinner.
You monster.
That is an actual punishment, is what it is. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man.
Woof.
Now, what happens if you wind up breaking the streaming device, which is going to happen?
Well, yeah, the Wi-Fi is going to go out. Well, you just have to load back in, and Oh, you mean
no.
you mean actually like physically break it, like throw it? Well, that doesn't get you out.
I mean, crack over your knee.
Yeah, like a new one will be provided, sinner.
Well,
Now you have a soldering problem.
I feel like the one edge case on this though is that Dennis is the one human with a supernatural ability to play like remote games and have them work flawlessly.
Yeah.
I do have a high tolerance for that.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Let's see, Ben. What does Mage Boy say?
Mage Boy says, I'll do mine based on a prank I pulled on my older brother. Resident Evil 7 in VR, but there's someone in the room with you that can grab you, poke you based on what is on the screen and their choice.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could get so that is not one that you play moving around. Like that could get real cruel, just like, my choice is to trip you with a broom.
I mean, you could still do that. It's just smacking their ankles with it at a certain point.
Yeah. And then finally here, Moxie, what does Callum say?
Callum says, play GTA 3, but you can only play story and RC vehicle missions on repeat.
That's going to be a lot. Yeah.
That unlocked a fear that I forgot I had.
So, which one was GTA 3?
The one that's kind of in New York City-ish.
Okay, was that the first 3D one?
Yeah.
The thing with that is, I feel like San Andreas was the one that had the RC vehicle missions, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're going straight from the title or if it's an implied San Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought GTA 4 was New York City.
Both were Liberty City. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait until you hear that GTA.
Mm-hmm. GTA Online had RC stuff.
No, it's bullshit.
You had to like kill Elon Musk or something.
Fun.
Wait, where can I find this game?
Everywhere. It's on literally everything. So I'll give mine. I think that the best hell is somebody else's heaven. Right?
Okay.
Right? Like it just I don't know. I find that to be an interesting idea that they're indistinguishable, but it's the person who defines it. So like make somebody play like have to play like an emulated like old school EverQuest. With like no guides or maps and like none of the quality of life features, and like say you've got to like max level with basically no help or anything. I think that
everyone in the game is trying to screw you over.
Yeah. Kind of like a Running Man kind of deal. Yeah, that would be mine. Ben, how about you?
It's going to do the Ultimate Platinum Award, which is where you have to platinum every game in existence.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
I think we said
the
one
life
game,
sentence.
though, right?
Oh. Well, all right. So this was spurred by there's a problem where it's like two people play a game, but at any time they can shout out a game and they immediately have to play that. And then if you shout out the game itself. Anyway.
Okay.
I have no answer then.
Okay, that's fine. Moxie, how about you?
Stanley Parable.
Okay. so like a real breezy mechanics light, like, I don't know, 6 hours and they're done?
No, I honestly couldn't think of anything clever. Like, yeah, there's bad games, but I can't think of any that are like particularly loathsome.
Not even like
Yeah.
like a game like, okay, you need to play Crusader Kings but with the Donkey Konga bongos.
Kaye can just spit these out all day.
I guess. I don't know about this. Man, I'm not telling you what your answer should be. I'm just kind of giving you a direction you could probably hunt.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. I mean,
Okay. Dennis, how about you?
Yeah, this one comes from deep personal scars in my past. But I would have them play the original Splinter Cell on the hardest difficulty. specifically the final mission, which has like a 5-minute unskippable cutscene before the most brutal "you need to be perfect" section in stealth games.
Which game is this?
Splinter Cell.
Oh yeah,
the very first one.
Okay.
Now, did you kill the boss with the helicopter or just with bullets?
Oh man, I don't remember. It is very possible that I rage quit before getting there.
Okay.
This was the game that like I have the distinct memory of realizing, oh, unskippable cutscenes are bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, they're terrible.
And yeah, just the fury too of like having it be that type of game where you have to do everything perfectly in stealth, combined with some PS1 wonkiness of just like nothing works exactly the way that you think it should. And that would be a real bad time.
Yeah. I think everybody succeeded, or most of us, except for the two present, succeeded. Sorry, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, uncomfortable situations all. Thank you, Dennis, for posting the question, and thank you, everybody, for answering. If you would like to participate in these, watch for the prompts to go up on Monday afternoons on Blue Sky at thelevelpodcast.bsky.social.
The End Boss.
Now it is time for the End Boss, where we talk about things that are happening in the world of video games and how we feel about them. Dennis, we have kind of a follow-up to some previous news.
Yeah, time for least surprising things ever. Splitgate 2, after its disaster of a launch, has announced that it will go back to beta, a move that has turned out just so well for games like Crucible. Maybe scratch that. Yeah. So
Concord.
Despite what's that?
Concord, like a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite the game, the actual like gameplay of the game being a lot of fun and very polished, as I talked about, just a myriad of unforced errors in terms of PR and marketing, and then also just some really confusing choices in terms of monetization and unnecessary complication of systems, has had players being like, this feels like a half-baked product. To say nothing of the whole battle royale mode that doesn't make sense for a primarily arena shooter. And finally, 2 months later, 1047 Games is kind of seeing the light, seeing what fans have been shouting at them the entire time. So they are going to pull back to beta. I guess what that means practically is after the current battle pass finishes, they're not going to put out another one.
Okay.
And they're going to keep the game up. People can still play it. But there's not going to be new stuff in the store until their relaunch next year.
Okay.
So good news if you enjoy playing the game, and I'll play a match or two a day. If you enjoy playing the game, it's still going to be there, but they are not putting out new content while they try to refactor all these kind of surrounding systems that are just getting in the way of a game that is fun moment to moment.
Well,
unfortunately, this does mean that they are going to have to do layoffs. Although they made it very clear, they said people are getting severance packages. They're getting, recruitment support to find a new job.
There are no jobs right now.
Yeah. They're helping people find 100% of the jobs there are. Severance is more than a lot of people get in this industry. So that is good at least. The other casualty of all of this is that Splitgate 1, which has had its servers up to date, is going to lose its servers. And they've made some promises around we're going to try to find a way to have like local network multiplayer supported, et cetera. Because, there's a pretty passionate community for that original game. But really with them scrambling behind the scenes the way they are, I can't imagine that it's going to get too much support.
Yeah.
So what was the big problem they had other than like the microtransactions and shit?
Owner at was it the whatever Game Awards thing?
The Summer Game Fest coming out.
Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
but like that's not something you can beat by or fix by like going back to beta. Like that's not a software problem.
It just sounds like it sounds like a PR problems on top of just horrible leadership at the studio level. Like it sounds just like a muddled product.
Yes, and while I agree with you, Moxie, it is something that you can convince your investors will fix the game.
Right. Well,
if you go back to beta,
it just seems to me like microtransactions are an easy fix. Just don't do microtransactions.
That's the problem though, is they structured this entire game around lots of different microtransaction stuff that one was exploitative. The stuff was on permanent discount to make it look like you were getting more than you should, or it was worth more than it was. There were, currencies within currencies. All the pricing of like the split coin bundles were at weird amounts that didn't let you get, it's the mismatch that happens so often, but it was so blatant that people got pissed. The battle pass was split into 3 parts. So you could either buy the 3-month battle pass as a bundle and get a discount, quote unquote, or you could buy each pass individually. But then they were also putting up that each pass had the split coin to buy the next pass. So theoretically, while they were trying to push you to buy all 3 in a bundle, it was more cost effective if you were actually going to play the game to buy just the one. Just all kinds of weird decision making.
Yeah, it's space buck math. Yeah.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of goodwill by focusing on Battle Royale instead of Arena, which is what the core of their player base cared about.
Trend chasing.
Yes, it's the, live service mega hit or bust business model that just, there are so many games that are getting killed off by, I don't know if it's investors or teams with stars in their eyes or both, that seem to feel like, oh, we're the ones who are going to make the next mega hit, and we will not design to be successful if we have a small passionate fan base instead of literally everyone in America and the rest of the world playing this game on the daily basis.
It's the Battlefield team saying our game is going to make $102 billion or something like that.
Yes. And I guess maybe reading between the lines, investors are starting to be like, hey, wait a second, this isn't the global phenomenon that you promised. And so now they have to scramble, 1, to deal with angry players, but then 2, to convince investors that the millions of dollars thrown at them was not completely wasted. Which, hey, at least they didn't take it and walk away from the company like those people from last week. So, something there.
Terrible leadership all the way around. Kills projects, kills livelihoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, if you were paying attention to the game, you could see this coming. I'd like to hope that there's a world where this actually does fix some of the things wrong and result in a game that is successful ongoing. But man, does it feel like the venture capitalists run around into the grave for Splitgate 2.
Yeah. Looking likely.
Womp
womp. Speaking of the distortion of powerful movers in the market, hey Moxie, what was up with hunting games? Remember those?
Yeah, so this is just a very strange story. John Romero was on a podcast done by Night Dive Studio and just randomly got talking about how in the 90s, the model apparently for selling games was you need to get them into Walmart. Except that Walmart didn't know anything about games, so they hired GT Interactive, which was a major publisher, I guess still a major publisher, to basically, be their supplier. And one of the things that ended up happening is the specific executive that was kind of in charge of this was generally happy to just let GT do whatever they wanted. However, one day he basically said, look, I don't understand any of this shooting alien stuff, but I understand like shooting deer or something. So why don't you make a hunting game? That'll sell tons of money. And they did. And that is how the hunting genre happened. Specifically, that was how Deer Hunter got made. Mm-hmm. So in Romero's words, the hunting genre entirely came about from Walmart.
It tracks, like, I don't know. I have just drilled into my memory that like rack of jewel case, like discount games, like $10 to get like 2 old PC games, and then just line after line of like Big Game Hunter, Deer Hunter, et cetera, et cetera. That was the only place that you saw those games there. And then like at the computers of like every family whose house you went to.
That distribution is half the battle, so yeah that tracks.
The one I have the most respect for was it like Cabela's Dangerous Hunts or whatever, which was just like, what if hunting game, but the animal is trying to kill you?
Yeah. There was only one of those that really got like super nuts with like, I don't know, a polar bear that could have a vendetta or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think at least one of them, maybe it was that one, like the final one, it was all relatively rational stuff, but then the final one was like Bigfoot or something.
Yeah. It was somewhere in that series, the Dangerous Hunts. Yeah. Oh, fun.
What's interesting to me is that means that the developer making that game had kind of zero interest in doing anything other than pleasing the executive that's giving them the shelf space. So, I mean, you are seeing what is very much a target or a project targeted at one person.
Like targeted one person who it feels pretty easy to knock at like, oh, he just made up a niche or a demand. However, people wanted those. He didn't twist their arm to buy it. I think that it might be a situation where, an executive like, oh, my kid said he was into this. And then that leads to like, a new kind of music or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, you can't say he didn't know his customers.
Yeah. It's so not to like come out in defense of an executive or whatever, but like, it's not entirely artificial. He was identifying a demand that probably didn't have a lot of voice put to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I probably could have guessed that maybe was what happened, but it is neat to hear that it was the case. Ben and I are going to kind of tag team this last one. Ben, what's happened with my free speech?
Yeah, you can approach this one a couple different angles, and it's, I guess, maybe sensitive subject matter, but the TLDR is Steam recently updated their terms and services and removed a decent number of games, like I think around 500.
80 of them? Or 500 are marked, but only 80 have been taken down.
Yeah. And so that by itself, who knows what that means. But the story is that a group in Australia claimed victory over this, that they had pressured credit card companies into taking down games that include explicit content. And in their words, specific things like rape, incest, and child abuse. And so I think why this is a tricky subject matter is it's like... you don't really want necessarily censorship because that can be like a slippery slope, even though that's a logical fallacy argument. But then like you also don't want to be in the position where you're defending like, yeah, I really want incest games on Steam. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I think if Steam on their own updated this sort of policy and made changes, it's like, okay, yeah, cool, that's reasonable. Like, let's not have child murder in games. Down with that. But since it's like this like religious organization like claiming victory over this, it's just like, well, I don't like that at all. So
yeah, so to put this in broader context, this is part of a broader push by let's say like religious shading into fascist efforts worldwide in order to specifically use payment processors to remove anything sexual from online like content marketplaces, usually hiding behind this anti-pornography. We are just trying to go after sex trafficking kind of thing. There are a couple groups in this. The Australian one is Collective Shout. They're backed by religious groups. The other one is Exodus Cry, which is very specifically an anti-porn group that is trying to get sex worker content taken down. Basically like, hey, PayPal, going after PayPal and saying, hey, any platform that uses this, can't use their services, exerting this political pressure to try and remove anything sexual under the guise of kind of an outwardly, to a passing observer feminist kind of idea of, well, we don't want these exploited women or these children, et cetera, et cetera. Putting that to games is a different thing entirely. Additionally, a lot of their claims about like what is specifically being depicted in these games is a little skewed. Like a lot of the games that they're talking about are gross. They're not to my kind of personal taste, but like when they say, oh, it is, depicting child, like child sexual exploitation or whatever, what they're talking about is like anime shit. Where characters are designed to look young, which I don't like it. I don't like that. If somebody is like outright defending it and saying, hey, that isn't unseemly, I don't look aside at it. But also like, this is basically the idea of a little bit like a Mott and Bailey kind of deal, where they're going after stuff that is more universally considered to be taboo, games that depict incest fantasies or whatever, with the ultimate goal being, well, here is a lady killer in a bind, or any kind of erotic game that might have LGBT kind of stuff to it, saying, hey, this is just as obscene as these other things. And then that goes to like, suddenly you get Patreon as a platform has been pretty bad about this, taking down sexual content, like, just even with, like just like erotica writers, stuff like that might end up, shading into adult territory. So like it gets real wiggly around this. And like, I don't know, as much as I don't want to defend sexual fantasies that I find to be pretty rough, including stuff that gets into like, let's say dubious consent kind of thing, like gross, wish it didn't happen. But like the way that this is coming, like where this is coming from, like that is effectively using religious pressure on private actors in order to enforce censorship across platforms, and it is being used specifically not to help people, but to remove any kind of non-mainstream sexual expression from the public sphere.
Yeah. It seems so in line with like, what's happening like in the US, where it's like banning like porn sites by state and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a very narrow interpretation on like what's happening. And I guess the cornerstone of my mind is I remember Radiator Yang as making indie games where it's like a game where you just stick a popsicle in a dude's mouth and they're like queer, pro sex, and it's great. Like they're like awesome games. It's like, I want those to exist. Yeah. So like anything that would like infringe on that is like, no, I don't think that's in the right. And so
I think we're skipping though the worst part of all this, which is that it actually makes a compelling case for cryptocurrency.
Oh no.
Just the idea being to kind of get off of mainstream payments or processors. Yeah.
Yep.
Like that. Man, I don't even know. I don't even know how to approach that.
Everybody's grifting.
Yeah,
Just want to find someone that's not grifting.
Pretty much. They're also like Collective Shout specifically is talking about going after itch next, which like itch is not just a place for queer game developers to actually sell their stuff, but also like writers, like LGBTs, like so like a lot of the trans writers that I know and have read works of, they distribute their stuff pretty much almost entirely on itch because it is a storefront with good terms. And these are not stories that are, let's see here, to pull a quote from the Collective Shout, people, appealing to all these porn sick, brain rotted pedo gamer fetishists so desperate to get their hands on Rape My Little Sister incest games that they're now exchanging clues on how to find them.
obviously a good faith argument that they have on the other side. So.
Right. And what's funny is like you have the whole crew of like, oh, they censored Stellar Blade or whatever because they didn't put the camera right up that character's pussy. And they're not saying anything because this is going after queer creators. So like it's actual legitimate censorship coming and then it's nothing. Yeah.
A case study in why it's so important to know the source and motivations of things.
Well, that gets into my side of this story. Sorry to monopolize this, but
go for it.
So Zombie Waypoint, after Vice fired everybody and then started hiring cheaper people to take their place after not paying the people who worked at Waypoint, one of their writers, who is not cheap, she does good work, Anna Valens, put up 2 articles kind of talking about this and exposing the groups that were taking responsibility for this, and then talking about the groups that kind of like back them. Put up these 2 articles kind of going in depth, reporting that was not otherwise done. And then these groups put pressure on the company that owns Vice and Waypoint for these articles to be taken down. And Waypoint not only capitulated, but also decided we're not going to work with Anna Valens anymore. And this led to a mass exodus of the writers who were still working there. I think 2/3 of the writers are gone now because Vice and Waypoint gave in on this. So. So when it's like, oh, we need to look at we need to look at the sourcing and like where this is coming from, they're actively trying to obscure it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like also the problem is like we don't need to do that. We need society as a whole to do that,
Right.
and that ain't ever happening.
No.
It's also kind of funny that like Vice, who kind of built their empire on like reporting stories about like black drug markets or like cannibalism in different countries or something like that, like shies away from sexualization in games.
Valens noted to Aftermath. This is an article from Aftermath, a write-up done by Geeta Jackson on here. Valens noted Aftermath that despite the seeming concern over Waypoint's content, articles about zoophilia and gooning appear on Vice itself. Which is like, I don't know, write about what you want to write about.
Hands off our goon games.
Hands
right?
off our Mr. Hands. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Pretty rough. Yeah.
People, can we be cool?
You know,
Could everyone just be cool?
again, you're singing my tune. I have for years been preaching the unified theory of being cool. I'm serious. So many problems could be solved if people would just decide to be fucking cool for like a second.
Yeah. To quote the great Douglas Adams, in short, people are a problem.
Yeah. God, especially like I don't like how pervasive porn games are on Steam, but like you can turn that off, right?
Yeah, you don't have to search for them. For example, it's wild.
Oh man. Well, also like there should be a space for market for porn, space in the market for porn games. It's fucking what, Grand Unified rules: be cool and it depends. This is not the first time I'm saying this stuff. I sing this tune all the time. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
I don't know.
No, I am certain it will not be the last word because there's lots of money to be made in lawsuits. So I'm sure there will be plenty going both ways before this is all over.
It's also just the way the tide is going with this just revanchist, just great kind of
we're all
receding of the wave to like this Christo-fascist kind of stuff. It's real rough. How do you all feel about buttoning it up?
On that note, yeah.
Put a padlock on it. God damn.
Yeah, those games. Those games are outlawed too.
The credits.
Thank you so much for listening to level number 551, as much of a bummer as it sometimes was. If you want to help us out, you can leave a rating and review. You can tell your friends. You can subscribe. You can leave a comment. Any of this stuff, we grow by word of mouth. And we appreciate everybody who helps spread the word. You can also support us on Patreon, get a whole bunch of bonus content. It's one of the, oh God, for like less than $1.25 per week, you get like hundreds of hours of bonus content at this point, hundreds of episodes. It's a good value. Go for it. Do it. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
No, be cool, everyone.
Yeah, everybody be cool. All right. Well, I've been Kaye. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaye.zone.
I've been Dennis Furia. You can find me on Blue Sky at Furia Games.
I'm Moxie.
And I'm Ben Merkel.
And stick around for some titles. All right, who has titles?
I have one.
Okay.
I have, why did you say that like a Cenobite?
You literally did say, oh, the sites I will show you or something like that. Yeah. Ben, you got anything?
I got nothing. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I didn't write any down either. Dennis?
Got two.
Okay.
I have House Flipper, Ash Tree Lane.
Okay.
And then Conquerable Tasks, which was just a phrase that struck my fancy.
Yeah, it's got kind of cellar door appeal, doesn't it? Conquerable tasks. I like, why did you say that like a Cenobite?
Love that one. Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
So I've got something off the record from recording.
Let me say, it is decided.